Hey everybody, it's me, Alex Garcia, aka the COG, coming at you as always from comicbookclique.com to bring you the best day of the week, New Comic Book Day. And what a great week this is. We've got a lot of big stories finishing, some new stories just starting, and some great ones just continuing. So let's come down this journey with me this week to talk about this week's brand new comic books. And we're gonna talk, and what I keep saying is like the publisher of last year, and so far looking like gonna be the publisher of 2026. Let's start in DC with DC KO number 5, the conclusion to this mega event by Scott Snyder, Javi Fernandez, and Alejandro Sanchez. Guys, this is the epic conclusion, but all the while still setting up the next big thing for DC. At the end of the last issue, we saw the unlikely victor emerge, but it all turned out to be a hoax. The true victor is crowned. It's kind of obvious who it should be, who it would be. DC's already kind of hinted at what's going to happen with this character in the upcoming year. Great knockdown, drag out, but yet galactic fight happens between this character and Darkseid. Of course, good prevails in the end, but it comes at a cost. And it all sets up the next big thing. The artwork on this was absolutely gorgeous. The character work was fantastic. I'm really excited for what's to come with DC and everything that's happening. And normally I don't look forward to these DC events, but I really love this one and I'm excited for the next event to come. Scott and company, you're doing a great job. DC, you keep killing it. Keep it coming. Great work. Speaking of great work, we got Absolute Superman number 17, Jason Aaron and Juan Ferreira, the great team from the recent Ninja Turtles arc, continue to do a great job with this 2-part story over here in Absolute Superman, continuing this reluctant team up between Supes and the Absolute Hawkman against the Absolute Parasite. And the Absolute Parasite is being just that for the entire city of Metropolis. You know, Hawkman is trying to convince Superman to back down, to give into the ways of this awful world. All the while, Superman is showing Hawkman that nope, I'm the bringer of hope. This is what I do. So just I get out of my way and let me do my thing. Great issue. Juan Ferreira brings the thunder with his art, and Jason Aaron's script is just amazing. He really shows that this world's Kal-El is still Kal-El. Gotta love the way he just carries himself, the way he just continues to be this beacon of hope even in this world. Really love this issue. I would probably say this is probably the best issue of Absolute Superman so far, which is crazy to think because we've had many great issues of Absolute Superman. And then just to cap it all off, the way Brainiac, the way Brainiac does what he does at the end of this issue, oof, setting up, I hope not the obvious thing doesn't happen. I hope Jason continues to turn what we think is going to happen on its head. Fantastic issue. Don't miss this one. Don't miss anything from the Absolute Universe, and pretty much don't miss most of what DC's doing. Great job, guys. Let's check out Marvel. We got X-Men number 26, Jed MacKay and Netho Diaz back on the art. Tony Daniel did a couple issues. Now with this issue, we're setting up the next big story arc with this whole Danger Room setup. You know, Cyclops is back from that Age of Revelation. They're setting up this new story arc. Everybody's falling into place. And honestly, this is starting to feel more like the X-Men that I want to be reading. I didn't really like Age of Revelation for the most part. Really kind of came out of nowhere. I was expecting more out of it. Didn't really hit the taste. And then the immediate afterwards, not so much either. But this, I'm enjoying. This feels like the X-Men. This feels like Cyclops. I like how the team is shaping up. Everybody kind of gets their own little pick up here. And the setup for this arc, which I thought when I saw Danger Room, I thought they were going to bring back Danger, but they're not. They're doing something completely different. Liking this. Jed MacKay, I trust you. You're doing great work over at Moon Knight, and for the most part, you've been one of my favorite writers to read in the last couple of years. I have faith that the story arc is going to take us back down the path the X-Men should be on. So good stuff. And staying with the X-Men, we got X-Men Annual #1 for this year. This one is written by Ryan Stegman, who normally draws at least the covers on the regular X-Men book, and one of my favorite artists, Steve Skroce, on the art. This is not an essential issue in any way. It's a classic annual in that it helps thread some things in the background, but it's nothing that you have to pick up. If you've been wondering what Phoenix has been up to, that was one cool thing, is she comes back in this issue to team up with the X-Men to resolve this issue with what appears this mutant who was not really truly accepted over at the Xavier Institute. So he's kind of getting his revenge by trying to flex that his power is truly great. The X-Men do what the X-Men do, and Jean, Wolverine, and company, they kind of just show this guy, hey, look, we would have been there for you. So it was a nice one and done story. Steve Skroce's art will always make me pick up a book. I really enjoyed at least seeing his art. This was like a fun, quick in and out story arc if you want to see something that's just not tied into anything, but you want to see great art and you want to just see classic X-Men characters interacting with one another. Check this out. Not bad. Staying in Marvel, let's talk about Amazing Spider-Man #23, part 2 of the Death Spiral, with Joe Kelly on the writing and Ed McGuinness doing a spectacular job on the art. It's so nice to see Ed doing Spider-Man, doing a full issue. Really liked him on with the last writer, even some of the stuff he did with Joe at the end of that run with the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. Seeing him team up with him again on this made the issue good. I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed the initial issue for this whole 9-part story arc. I was not anticipating it. I wanted Peter to come back from space and just get right back into, basic, regular, down and dirty street kind of stories with Spider-Man. But Marvel said, hey, let's do this 9-part story arc with Venom and Spider-Man. Spider-Man's quickly having to catch up on a lot of things that people thought he knew, because Chasm, aka Ben Reilly, has been pretending to be Peter and finding out certain things, but even it not really giving a darn. Now Peter's actually finding him out and he's having a completely different reaction to a lot of this news. This was actually a really good issue. I really enjoyed it. They're making me excited for this story arc. The villain Torment is growing in interest. I'm wondering who this person is. I kind of have my theories. I'm not going to spoil any of that with you. The last issue, with the way they did that whole continuing story on the bottom panels, was really cool. And seeing what's in store between Torment and what's going on with Carnage, and Peter and Mary Jane having these great interactions. This was a really good issue. Gotta see where it goes though, because I don't want to buy those Venom issues. I have no interest in collecting Venom, but it seems like they're going to be essential to fully understanding the story. So let's see what happens next week when I hit the shop. Let me know. Let's jump over to Mad Cave, where we got the return of Speed Racer with Speed Racer #6 by David Pepose and David Tinto. Guys, this is the start of the second arc with Speed Racer. Speed, saves his dad. Everything comes out on great in the end of the first arc, but now we jump right into this second arc where you think after everything they went through in that first arc, Speed and his dad would be getting along great. They're not. If you know anything about Speed Racer, those two are always at each other's throats, and it just continues here. We have the introduction, at least to me, of a new villain. I wouldn't be surprised if someone was able to tell me out there, oh no, that's a classic Speed Racer villain from the cartoon back in the day. I'm not totally familiar with the Speed Racer lore. I just remember watching it as a kid and really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying this, especially David Tinto's art. I mean, Pepose's script is great. He's been doing a great job over with Space Ghost, and how much I love his Captain Planet. But as good of his script is here, Tinto's art just continues to carry this book, in my opinion. But overall, this to me is a great pickup. If you want something that's completely disconnected from all the big two craziness, and just a fun book that is truly dynamic, and really every issue ends on a really fun cliffhanger, check out Speed Racer. Highly recommend. Let's check out Dynamite, where we got Thundarr the Barbarian #2 by Jason Aaron and Cooper Ball on the art. The first issue really got me back into it. I told you guys how much I love Thundarr the Barbarian. Back in the day, watching on Cartoon Network, I would just catch every episode. I remember watching episodes over and over again and just never getting bored. Jason Aaron, just as he's doing a fantastic job on Absolute Superman, shows how much he loves this character. He must have been watching the cartoon like me. He's really elevating these Saturday morning cartoons. Dynamite, like I've been saying this for months, with what they're doing with Thundercats, what they're doing, like I said, with Captain Planet, and now with Thundarr, with Herculoids, all these great properties that were really just like Saturday morning silly cartoons. I felt like, toys just smashing into each other. He's adding so much depth to this character. The way he's fleshing out the background of Thundarr and the origin of this world. He's even making time travel cool. Time travel is brought up into this. I hate time travel, but I'm loving seeing it in this. Great stuff. Really can't wait for issue number 3 now. Jason, Kuber, keep it coming. Please, Dynamite, tell me this. You guys have been like ending series with issues 10 and 11s. Don't do that with this. Give me at least 24 issues of Thundarr the Barbarian. Please. Great stuff. Can't wait for number 3. And let's have some more fun. We got Gargoyles and Darkwing Duck number 3 by Tad Stones, Greg Weisman, and I don't want to get this guy's name right, Ciro Cangialosi. Guys, if you really want to just read a fun book, read this book. We got, the Gargoyles teaming up with Darkwing Duck to go up against Demona, who now has the Quack Comic-Con. It's like the Necronomicon with a little duck seasoning on it. Fun stuff. The comedy works, but there's still a level of drama, especially when Demona is doing her spell stuff and she's unleashing what she hopes to accomplish with this crazy duck Necronomicon book. Fun book. I can't believe how much fun I'm having with this. It's the next issue, or there might be 1 or 2 more issues left, but I'm having a blast with it. It's satiating my gargoyles. It's making me have a lot of fun with Darkwing Duck. The comedy, like I said, is great. The interactions between the Gargoyles and Gosling and Darkwing, all of it's a great time. If you want something just silly and fun and something you can even read with the kids, check out this book. Don't miss it. And last but certainly not least, we have Thundercats, Lost in Time, number 1 by Ed Brisson and Chris Campana and a slew of other artists, because they a bunch of different inking on it. The art changes. This feels a little rushed in that department. The art's not bad, but it's kind of like jaunting when you go from artist to artist, from page to page. But this is the one shot that you want to read if you want to totally understand where we're going from Thundercats Lost, how that finished, right? Because that story finished with seemingly these lost Thundercats being traveled from Thundera and now into the future of Silverhawks. Here they continue to team up with Flashback, the Silverhawk Flashback, and he's explaining what's happening now, not on Third Earth, but on the evolved version of Third Earth. We have Sixth Earth. They're in the year 3100. He's explaining what has happened and how apparently the battle between the Silverhawks and the Thundercats has led to the eradication of the Thundercats. And now they need the Thundercats to come in and save the day and fix everything, because it's a classic dystopian future story. This was a fun issue. I had a blast seeing these characters, some of them new, some of them old, like seeing Pumira and Linkso go into this future. And from what I see with this what's going to happen next with this Thunderhawks crossover, we're going to have Thundercats becoming Silverhawks. Can't wait. Ed Brisson and company on Thundercats. You guys have been killing it. Oh man. Like I said, Dynamite knows what they're doing with these licensed properties, just elevating it, adding a level of drama while still maintaining that fun nostalgia feel of these classic cartoons. Great stuff, Dynamite. Keep it coming. And guys, that's what we got here over for the major haul for this week. That's what I picked up. Let me know what I should have picked up. Let me know what you picked up. Let's keep this conversation going. Had a blast this week. DC's killing it. Marvel's starting to bubble up. Dynamite keeps it coming. And we didn't even have any real Image books, but that Energon universe is out there as well. So guys, please let me know what you thought. Like, share, and subscribe. Keep track of us everywhere on our Facebook, on our Instagram, on our YouTube, on our X. Please help us over at our Patreon, throw some money so we can keep paying for these books, keeping the lights on, keep paying for all these subscriptions so we can bring you this great news. And guys, make sure you're hitting up our YouTube solid. We have been interviewing some of the biggest names in the market right now. We recently had the pleasure of interviewing Daniel Warren Johnson, Brett Bean from the super hot Dork issue, and a bunch of other creators, Philip Kennedy Johnson. We're having a blast talking to everybody. Make sure you check out those interviews so you can see all the things that most of these other places aren't getting to hear the news, but CBC, Comic Book Clique, is bringing it to you. So make sure you check us out. Guys, thank you as always for taking the time to spend with me here. And you know what I always say, keep print alive and read more comics. Until next time.